What's up, man? How we doing, Phoenix?
Hey, guys.
Kamp podcast live for the second time ever.
Yeah, man. It's the second time we've ever done this. This is exciting.
And we prepared nothing once again.
Surprise, surprise.
It's a lot less nerve-wracking than the last time that we did this, because the last time was at Kamp Fest, and that was the first time we publicly,
Did anything.
spoke about anything pretty much.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Just doing it on a podcast live.
Yeah, so we're like, yeah, dudes.
Sick.
We're dealing with all this heavy shit. Let's just go do it in front of a couple thousand people.
Yeah, I went and got a shitload of Thai food right beforehand, and I was like, dude, I don't feel good. I don't want to go out there.
You went and ate Thai food with Jared.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry, I had to name drop for you. Jared
you,
Watson from Dirty.
No big deal.
You think I didn't want to name drop, but I knew you were going to take it over for me, so I appreciate it.
We're filming this live, correct? So this will be everyone behave, because this will be uploaded to Spotify, all your favorite
Cool it
streaming
with the
services.
racism. Calm down.
Yeah, man. Kamp podcast. This is so cool. I never thought that we would do this on a stage ever, because it's usually just us looking at each other.
Yeah, we can't right now because this fucking giant
Sorry, guys.
Italian head.
Be careful with the fire. The fire's hot. Move back.
Yeah.
No, this is like kind of what I always wanted when we started the podcast, was to be able to do it on stage in front of people. And we have such a strong fan base with all of you guys. And so it's great to be able to do something fun. And like the whole point of the kickback for us is to be able to get out there and meet you guys more and hang out, do it in a small venue and make it a little more intimate, where we're just kind of chilling. It's like no stress. We don't have to really we're not playing a full show. We just kind of are partying all together,
Yeah, it's cool to look around and see people that I have met on many occasions.
Yeah.
Many friendly, familiar faces. This is really cool. So you guys hear the news that we have a new song finally coming out next week?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We've been really waiting a long time to tell you guys about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, we're really pumped, dude. It's gonna be awesome. Throw your hands up if you attended Kamp Fest.
Hell yeah.
That's
Right
so
on.
dope.
Thank
man.
you, guys.
Yeah, the
Super
amount
sick.
that has gone into making, obviously we're working on a whole collection of music right now, and to get just this first song out, I know is kind of closest to being done all the way back at Kamp Fest, but it's just been a year of the hardest time in our lives, and it's been super difficult to get through the writing process and to listen to it over and over again, and take it apart and cut things out that you don't like and just try to make it the best, and then also to just decide it's time. I think it's this is how it's going to be,
And honestly, you guys coming to this shit is making it really cool. So thank you.
Yeah, dude. So like Ryan said, over the past year and a half, we have been the process of having to open these songs that we were in the middle of working on. To make a long story short, for people that maybe don't listen to the podcast, because me and Ryan have been speaking about this over the recent months on the podcast, but we were in the middle of working on the beginning stages of a new album that week that Andy died, when we were all out in California together. So we all had to dive back in and open up the sessions and see damn, do we have enough to even make a couple songs to make an album? How much stuff are we actually sitting on? And that whole process was so intense, dude.
What usually would take us 6 months, and getting together, writing a bunch of ideas, and then being able to cut them out, got cut down to 4 days in California. And so that was the whole thing, where it's I don't think we're able to do this, and everything kind of felt like it was just over. And once we get in there and we start listening to them, and we're we have some good shit right here. And I think that, we can work on it. And, it's just been a long, long process. But I'm I don't know, over time, I feel like I get a lot of value out of just the fans' response to us, doing stuff all the time. And we haven't been posting anything for a year pretty much. So it feels, to me personally, I haven't been doing anything.
It makes us feel like we're letting you guys down when we're in the dark working on this shit. But it's because, obviously, as you guys can imagine, I know we're not the only people that have lost someone close to us in our life, but we had to take a step back and just work on the music and not be online as much. And so to see people show up like this, it just really makes us feel like, oh, okay, no one forgot about us or anything, and they're being patient, which is very, very cool. And like for all of you guys to be that patient with us while we work on this, yeah, man. I mean, working on the new music has been super healing for me to get through the whole thing. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we didn't have something to work on, it would be like us struggling to find something positive to come out of it,
So something positive coming out of it is a song that finally drops next week. So it's like
Friday.
The way I view it too, and it's like Andy being able to give the gift of his voice back to you guys after everything that you've given us to be there for us is the coolest thing ever that me and Tanner and Ryan can like share. And it's been so hard to keep it under wraps, and now that we finally get to share it with all of you guys, I hope that the song in some way can help you guys the same way it's helped us get through this shit, because it's a really positive song. And yeah, man, it's such a full circle thing to finally be able to put something out,
Yeah, for sure. And like while we're working on everything, our biggest goal is to just make it feel like a Katastro song. And it's not something that we just had to piece together, and regardless of the circumstances, we just want people to hear it and feel fucking good. So
yeah, although you guys know we kind of pieced it together, we
because we can't stop fucking talking about it.
I think it sounds like we didn't.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys are gonna find out tonight, because we will be maybe doing a little sneak peek for you guys.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, make some noise if we should play the new single tonight. Now here's the trick. We're not going to play it now. We're going to play it during the DJ set, so it tricks you into staying all night, so you can see all the other awesome bands that we have on the show. And the reason why we wanted to start throwing, camp shows is that we think it's a cool way to bring other artists that we think are really cool from the Valley and showcase them to our fans. And the really cool thing about you guys over the years, you've been such a positive group of fans that are very open to the other artists that we bring onto our shows. And I feel like in a lot of different scenes of music, like we have a lot of friends in other bands and different scenes that, aren't as open. Like the fans aren't as like just open to anyone that comes on the shows. And, from like Mouse Pal, shout out, who was at the Mouse Pal show? So, yeah, so we got the Irie on the show. Yeah, they've been doing super well. They just played for their first time ever at Red Rocks. They've been getting some great shows. And
we wrote a couple songs for them recently too. So
yeah,
hopefully you guys will be able to hear those soon.
Yeah. So and we've known Johnny for forever, man.
Since the beginning of the band.
Yeah, since the beginning of the band. So like, the first couple shows Katastro ever played, Johnny was in this band called the Vergroove, and so we've known Johnny forever, and we're really excited to have the Irie on the show. So please check them out too, and like follow them online, listen to their music. Who else we got on the show?
We got your boy Pariah Pete.
We got Pariah Pete.
Do you think he's
gonna
wear a skirt tonight? I hope so.
He better.
He said he almost tripped last time, but
yeah. Yeah, and we recently had Pariah Pete on the Kamp podcast. Anybody see that episode? Hell yeah, dope. Yeah, the kid's super dope. He's been doing this. He's played this room quite a few times.
Yeah.
And he's got an awesome band. I've been in the studio with him over the past 2 years, helping him and producing some new tracks for him. So we're really excited for you guys to see Pariah Pete and the Mercuries. That's what his band is called. And then a Katastro DJ set. Yeah. Wait, hold on. She's got a question. You need the mic.
Not a question. I just hope that you all know that we see you as individual artists as well. And we have your fucking backs. What you guys are doing individually now.
That's dope.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I will say that felt really cool to play a show with Mouse. The whole idea was from the creative genius who is our manager, Gonzo.
Where's that creative genius?
Where is that guy, dude?
Weird.
Look at it. Everybody stare at him. He doesn't know what to do.
No, dude.
Look at his hands, dude. It's so uncomfortable.
So that show at Mesa Amphitheater that we just did, performing as Mouse's band, Gonzo hit us up like a month or two ago and was like, hey, do you guys want to do this? This could be fun. And we were like, well, sure, that sounds like a fun idea. And, to see all of you guys show up and show Mouse love and be there for us, it was a very, very cool feeling. And for us, we love playing. I'm going to speak for all of us, okay? We love playing together. We love playing together on stage. I hope they like playing with me on stage.
I do have a thing. I was just talking to Mouse's girlfriend outside, and she said that Mouse is starting a rumor that I actually have hair extensions in.
Well, can you tug?
Cool.
Can you do a tug?
That's
They're tight. They're tight, but yeah.
It's pretty
they were expensive. They're nice hair extensions.
Those are good.
Yeah, so we would appreciate it if you continue to spread the rumor that Ryan has hair extensions.
Yeah. Actually, let's just go plugs. I got plugs.
Plugs. I got plugs.
So
hell yeah.
I could use it too.
Yeah. So we did just film one of the next Kamp podcast episodes that's going to come out is a full breakdown on the new single "Good Time" that drops next week. Should we still maybe talk to them a little bit about the song?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You get a little double dose. So basically, this song that drops next week, we literally wrote this song like 2 days before Andy passed away, because we were in the studio that entire week with Jared and Duddy from Dirty Heads, and we initially hit them up and we're like, "Yo, what are you guys doing? Blah blah blah. We want to go write some songs with you guys. Like, are you down to co-write some shit? Because we're writing for a new album." So we go to Santa Ana and we go work out of the studio that Dirty Heads always work out of. And what happened?
So yeah, we.
What happened? What happened, Ryan?
I don't really quite remember what happened.
I'm passing the torch.
No, yeah. So we get out there. We're in California, Santa Ana, and we get an Airbnb, and we're all hanging out. And it was kind of at like a weird time for the band because everything was going actually really good, and we were doing like these awesome shows. But there was also, Andy had been struggling a little bit, and there was like this weird. You just didn't know what was going to happen, kind of. And so we play Red Rocks, and then 2 weeks later we go to California. It's like, finally, this feels right again. And we're all in the same room, and we're just hanging out at the Airbnb watching the suns, and we're like having a good time.
Dude, straight up, for that whole last week of his life, the five of us were, like he said, in an Airbnb. Like, we ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. We were doing what we loved together. It was the most, for us, that's like the most normal feeling of like, all right, this is what we're supposed to be doing, and like, this is the shit, you know what I mean? And Andy was like super hyped because we just got off that big Red Rock show with Jizza and Sublime, and yeah, so sick. So everyone was just super hyped, and then we're like, dude, this is crazy. Like, we're in the studio with Jared and Duddy from Dirty Heads. We've looked up to those guys forever. We've toured with them, and it was just...
Well, we thought, so we had talked to our manager, had talked to their manager. We, worked it out. We're going to get them to feature on a song for us. And we show up to the studio, and we start kind of working on this song, and Duddy starts the guitar part, and it's just the most, Duddy, old Dirty Head sounding guitar part. And I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds great.
Like, real old school Dirty Heads type of vibe.
And that's, when we first met them. So for us, it was, very this nostalgic kind of thing. We've always, looked out to them, and, this way they ran their band and how they, got to where they're at was, we totally looked up to them. And so we were like, all right, so he's like, who's going to do the next verse? And we're like, well, I think you guys want to hop on. And he's like, oh, no, we're not doing features. And we're like, fuck. I thought we already talked about this.
Yeah, and all of us were like, oh, shit.
I thought I looked super weird for asking. But we end up getting through, and we write, Andy does his part, and he's got the chorus on the track. And it's really cool. And we just kind of move on, and we start working on other songs.
We literally only spent probably an hour on the demo, and it's just like you said, Duddy's riff and Andy's hook.
Yeah. And then so we obviously, we leave the next day for the studio, and we find out that day that Andy passed away. And so our whole lives flipped upside down, and we're not thinking about anything. We're just trying to figure out what to do next, and who am I without this band, or without Andy, or what is happening right now. And so we take our time, and we decide it's time to just look at what we actually do have and go through every old mixtape and every old like demo that we've tried in the past and just see if there's any salvageable vocals, and we can cut all the music and we can write new music to it, but just like what do we actually have of
Which, to be fair, was only about 3 months, probably.
Yeah, it was really soon. I remember, and it was so like, I think I just felt like, me personally, I felt so lost, and then the thought of doing it was even harder, but I knew that I needed that like thing to look for, you know, because I'm always like looking forward to the next thing. What's the next best thing for the band? What's the next thing we can do? And you know, suddenly I didn't have that, and I wasn't leaving town anytime soon, and I was just home, and I had nothing to like work on, and it was fucking scary. And so we all go out to, where do we go, Tanner? I think it's Tanner.
Miami, Arizona.
Ooh, en Benito a Miami?
Globe.
Yeah. Globe, Arizona.
Yeah, Matt Keller's house, our producer we work with. And we opened up the songs and kind of figured out what we needed to do from there.
Yeah, and it was fucking hard.
Really hard.
Yeah, so one of the first songs that we did open up, I believe, was Good Time. And what's really interesting is that Andy was so dope that the take that's in the official song that's dropping next week are literally his like first 2 or 3 takes. And those were technically, you know, his demo takes, but we were in a dope studio, we recorded the vocals well, and once, you know, I opened up my laptop and we're all together at Matt's in Miami, we started looking through this shit we had, and not only were the first 2 or 3 vocal takes awesome, he also was adamant when we were doing demos to do like the background vocals and the falsettos. Even when we were trying to pump ideas out, he's like, dude, can I just do the backgrounds? And we're like, dude, stop. Like,
I kept telling him no. I was like, dude, yeah, we'll do that next week.
We'll do that shit later. Like, just let's, and he was always adamant about that. Anytime we were recording him in the studio, he'd be like, Stravs, just let me do them real quick. And luckily, he was neurotic about doing that, because now we have all these usable takes with background vocal stacks and all these extra little things that, you know, you typically don't do when you're writing demos. So to me, that's a really cool, like, just fun fact about the song is that, and I mean, not just the song, but the album that you guys will eventually hear is, like, I think it proves how talented and dope Andy was, because even though these were like the initial takes of like the demo takes, like they were fire. No one will ever know that. No one that doesn't know the inside story of the album would never feel like, oh, that sounds unfinished or that sounds like a demo take. It's just like, it's fucking sick. And it makes me, the whole process of working on the new music makes me feel really confident in like how dope of a band that we are and have become.
Yeah. And it was such
yeah. And I do say that cocky and confidently.
We're a dope band.
We're sick. That's right.
And we're not scared, and that's not why we're not playing our instruments tonight. It's not because we're scared. Don't fucking say that. Stop saying that, dude. You stop.
We're not hiding behind a DJ set.
Yeah, no. All right, hair plugs and scared to play instruments.
So yeah.
I think, can we at least say, because you said, you know, with the album that they're eventually going to hear, I think we can at least say it will be a full-length album.
Yes. And
No, shut up, Gonzo.
Gone.
This is why we can't give you a microphone,
dude.
One day, you're going to be on the...
Damn, it would be such a fest of just people talking over each other.
That's all. All of our meetings.
Yo, I gotta say this, dude, because especially me, very like neurotic about shit with the band and like the moves that we make going forward. And Gonzo has done so much shit for us to be there for us over the past year and a half. Please give Gonzo a round of applause, dude.
Yeah.
He's the shit, dude. This dude's believed in our band since we were little dumbass kids that didn't know what the hell we were doing. And so, yeah, dude. This is...
Whoa.
So, wait, let's bring it back. So we go to Miami, Arizona to open up the songs. We start working on Good Time. We build it out. We put the drums on. We put the guitars on. We really make it a Katastro song. And then, the day after... Literally, like, actually hours after we found out Andy passed away, Jared was, I'm not even kidding, I think Jared was the second person I called once we found out that Andy passed. And because we had just spent the last 4 days with him, so my brain's just firing off, like, for some reason I just called Jared and I told him he couldn't believe it. And then he called me back a couple hours later once we got to the hotel that we pulled over to. And he was just like, dude, I got you. Like, whatever fucking parts of the songs Andy didn't finish, like, I'm going to help you guys finish it. Dirty Heads have your back. And then Dirty Heads manager called us, like, Sublime and Dirty Heads family have your back, like, whatever you guys need. And it was just like, that was really the beginning of like this overwhelming, you know, outpour of just like love and support from not only the artists in our community, but all of the fans across the country and the world, and like just getting crazy messages. And I don't know, it was super dope. But anyways, we hit up Jared and Duddy, and we're like, hey, after we go to Matt's in Miami, Arizona, we're like, can you guys want to jump back in the studio? And they were like, of course, let's fucking do it. Lock in the dates. So we go back to Santa Ana at the same studio that we initially wrote the song in and stayed in for that 4 or 5 days before Andy passed.
Yeah, and that was its own uncomfortable situation.
Like, to be back in the same room.
Was it weird for you?
I kind of blacked out. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I remember as much as you guys do, but...
I mean, that's really how it was, though, because like even like going back and now we're starting to actually talk about the process. It's like... my timelines keep getting fucked up and they're all over the place and I don't really remember.
The other day we were arguing about in what order something happened. Yeah. And then we started like looking at photos and bringing up dates. We're like, okay, we're all wrong. Like, started chronologically putting this thing together.
It was like soup. Like I was like, my brain was like just not there. I remember going there. Everybody's like, yeah, we're going to lunch. And I'm just like, I'm going to go lay down.
Hey, shut up over there. We're doing a podcast.
Jesus.
Keep it down over there.
That's got to be the Irie.
So we jump back in the studio with Jared and Duddy. What was that like?
Emotional. Very. Listening to Andy's vocal over and over again is pretty difficult, but I think it helped kind of push us past some of the harder parts for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a thing in therapy is like exposure. And it's when we are listening to it over and over again, it kind of becomes a little less painful. And once we started to get over the pain of it, I started feeling like excited because I was like, I still have something to focus on. I still have that thing to work on. It's like this thing we've all been doing since we were in high school that we've been working so hard on and always loved, like it didn't stop right then. We still have a lot to do. And I mean, you want to talk about what it was like Duddy walking into the studio that first day?
Duddy came in hot. He was prepared.
Bro, Duddy came in with heat on this song.
He came in, I think he had everything written already. It was just like, let me jump in the booth and just tracked it and was done.
It was like a minute, dude. He was like, hey guys, I think I have something. He's like, can I just track it? And it was perfect.
It's not something I would have expected out of Duddy.
Yeah, what's really interesting too is that when Duddy and Jared track their parts, they are writing their verses now with the context of losing Andy after we initially wrote the song with Andy in the room. So that's like, when you listen to the song and you hear the lyrics, when Duddy tracked his part, he has a line at the end of the song where he says, "It was a good life." And when he sang that in the studio, I immediately was just like, I started crying and had to walk out of the room because I was just like, this is wild. Like, we grew up looking up to Dirty Heads. Our first big national tour that we ever did was opening for these guys, and seeing how like a band on a big like professional level puts on a show, just the amount of inspiration we got from those guys. And then years later to be back in this studio with them, and they're just brothers. Like, they're just acting like really good friends and brothers and showing up for us and helping us finish the song. That was just a fucking surreal experience.
Yeah, it was weird because, like you said, it's just we've always been around him, we've always hung out with him, and we've done so many shows with him. But like as soon as Andy passed, there was like this veil that got lifted, and it was just real interaction. And they were just actually like everybody was telling you for the first time what they actually thought about you. And I was kind of like realizing for the first time everything that I had with being in this band. It was like we had done so much, and it was so exciting. I didn't have to be that sad because like we did accomplish like everything that I had thought that like I never had. It was already there. And so like going back to what you were talking about with like the lyrics, Andy wrote the lyrics and it's very positive. It's like, if you want to have a good time, this is what it looks like. It's just like very fun and happy. And then the verses are all from the opposite, not the opposite side, but it's just like, this is what a good time is. And when he's saying it from the now, and in their verses, it's more like,
it's much more thoughtful and like just lyrically kind of comes from a different perspective.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's cool.
And we thought it would be the most positive first song on the album to give you guys because, over the years, we've written a lot of music that was more on the darker, introspective side, like albums like Washed, which were actually really helpful for a lot of our fans, I believe, because a lot of people that were experiencing some pain and stuff, like Andy was when he was writing those lyrics, it's almost like now I can see the different eras of the band and how they have like climaxed to the moment that we're currently at now with having to put this album out. And this song is really just a testament to something really tragic happening, but so much beautiful shit coming out of it. And I think the craziest part about music is that getting to meet all of you guys over the years and all the fans across the country when we're on tour, when they tell us stories of how our music has helped them, it makes me feel like we're doing this for a reason. And I'm not going to start crying, but that's heavy, dude. It's heavy, man. It's so cool because music is a crazy thing, dude. It's not fun to do this like by yourself. And I think overall in life too, it's way better when you bring everyone together and everyone's there for each other.
I also think it's important that we came out with a happy, positive song and not something sad. The first thing you hear with Andy is going to be uplifting and happy in the way it should be started out.
Yeah, I don't want people to listen to Katastro and feel fucking bad.
Yeah.
That's not the whole reason we were in this band, is like to have a good fucking time. I accidentally did it. Just have a good time though, and just like, be with your friends and
We
party.
got a question.
I do have a question.
Wait, hold up. We got to give you the mic.
I'm from Wyoming, so Red Rocks is like my home place. So I got VIP for Red Rocks. And that Friday I left to go. Highway Robbery. I don't want to cry either. Highway Robbery was released. We listened to it all day. Saw you guys VIP. My phone died like right as we got into the stadium, but it's beautiful. We set up by like the where they videotape, and Ryan came in front of us, and my daughters recognized Ryan and said, "Ryan." It looked like you were a deer in the headlights, but I remember we gave you guys a bunch of mini joints, and it was up at one time, and Andy had them all lit in his mouth. And Andy's mom was there, and Rome's little boy was in the section, and it was just beautiful. But now, when I listen to Highway Robbery, like I feel like it's prolific. Like, sorry.
No, thank you. That means
That's
so
awesome.
much. No, I think I have a video of those little joints that you have, and it's Stravs' mom walking up to Andy and be like, "Andy, do you have any treats from the show?" And he goes, "Well, yes, I do." And he pulls out a little.
Yeah. So yeah, man. The new single drops on Friday.
Yeah.
And you guys are gonna hear it during the DJ set tonight. If you yell loud enough during the DJ set.
Yeah, you gotta fucking work for it.
Well, since we're not playing our instruments and we're DJs tonight, you guys are actually the ones doing all of the work.
I might actually just go down there and drink with you guys.
Me too, actually.
Yeah, she's on the drums.
I got a
She's
hotel
the
tonight. I'm walking. We're going.
You guys asked who wrote a question down for the podcast right now? Because we got a bucket right here. Should we start pulling out some questions?
Yeah.
Or was there anything else we wanted to talk about?
No,
before?
I think it's good. Let's get into the questions.
Pull from the bucket.
Let's see what's going on here. Do you want to? Tanner needs to grab the first question.
Okay. Tanner's the question grabber. You should maybe read the questions before you say them out loud.
I don't know what that means.
Translation?
Is this a decoy?
Kamp, I don't know what they said. We're sorry.
Oh,
the first question was a bust.
Oh, round 2 for Camp Fest. When is it?
Okay.
Is that what this question is? Maybe?
Yeah. So Camp Fest, not this year. We're waiting until everything is out, and we can do it bigger and better.
Yeah.
And they're also asking about the video from the first one.
Oh, video from the first one. We are currently working on it, but we're also currently working on a full album, a ton of shit. And we're just 3 guys, you know. We're trying. We have a lot of stuff to do, but it's all being thought about. It's all being worked on, and we're just making sure everything is kind of perfect on our end.
All right.
Yeah.
This question.
Yeah, I'm too busy catching motherfucking carps.
All he does
baby.
is fucking fish.
Fucking fly fishing in the canals with all the homeless
Hair
people.
plugs and carp.
Yeah, I went the other day and I was dodging hypodermic needles and I was like, this is real fishing right here. This is how you do it. Yeah, all these like millionaire fly fishermen out there that usually come up. This is the real shit. Yeah.
When we're all trying to do band calls lately, and Ryan's not answering his phone, or like we're talking and then his service cuts out, we're like, this motherfucker's out at the canals fishing.
He's at the fucking canal.
His phone's not working.
Bro, I got one that was like over 3 feet, and these fish, oh man, it felt so fucking good. And I'm gonna keep talking about it. The problem is I keep all my fishing stuff in my car, and then I forget that I'm like just so fucking good at it now that I keep catching fish. And
Dude,
my
this
car,
attitude is fucking.
my car, I'm just so fucking good, and it sucks for you guys to hear that probably, but it's true. I'm just getting fucking good. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Yeah. But I keep forgetting to like clean my shit off, and I'll get in my car, I'll be like 110 out, and get inside, I'm just like, ugh. It's just pure.
All right, I think this segues great into the next question. This is from Herkable. Where's she at? Or he?
From who?
Herkable? Herka 613? Is that you?
Okay.
Sorry, I thought that was a B. All right, she's got a question. Have any of you ever had the pleasure of using a bidet?
Oh, yes.
Dude, how did I know you're the one that's done it? I've never used one. Have you? Have you ever used one?
You guys are
Tanner?
so goddamn insecure. It's
I've
insane.
never used a bidet.
Well, of course you've never used
Oh no, dude! I don't want to be clean. Yeah, of course Tanner is.
Hey,
Says
Wait,
the
hold
guy
up. I
who
wanna know-
smells like fish
Dude.
all day.
That's too hard work.
Hold up, I've never heard your bidet story. Can you walk us through your night, your day, your morning?
Yeah,
your
yeah.
midday?
It's actually a pretty good
Let's
story.
hear
The day of the bidet, dude. Here it is.
It was a public bidet.
Bidet la
Let's start with
Weddle.
that. It was a public
Bidet la Weddle.
bidet. All right, so I was in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we get into our room,
Sounds
and
exotic.
I don't know if they fucked up or something, but it was the craziest goddamn hotel room I've ever seen in my life. It was wrapping around the corner, and it was just fucking insane. I was like, oh, there's like 3 fucking bathrooms in here. And I walked in one, and it was the weirdest looking toilet I've ever seen in my fucking life. And so I was like, what is this? And Mont was like, that's a bidet. And I was like, not for me. I'm not doing it. And so we go and walk around all day, and I get a little fucking drunk. And I come home, and I'm like, I'm not fucking scared anymore. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go sit down. Like I didn't even need to use it. I just wanted to try it. You know? And I did.
You wanted to see what you were potentially missing out on.
After that, it was like every like hour or so, I was like, can we go back to the room? I'm just getting a little tired. I was like,
I'm feeling a bit dirty.
It's hot outside. I liked it. You have one at your house?
Yo.
So my friend, we've had this debate. Well, no, I don't have one at my house, but we've had this debate, and it's like, if you step in dog shit on your shoe, are you just gonna wipe it off with a little piece of paper, or are you gonna spray it off with a hose?
You spray it off with a hose.
Exactly.
Dude, you're right. Why don't we all have bidets?
There you go.
Bidets for everybody.
I'm just trying to save the environment. I haven't used it since, but I would. I'm not afraid of it.
If this new album does well,
Actually,
we're all going to get bidets.
we're actually all going to her house.
Can I move in? Okay, cool. Okay, should we hit the next? Do you have something else to say about the
Fucking
bidet?
unhinged.
No, Ryan's up. Ryan's turn to pull.
You pull. Oh, it's my turn?
It's your turn.
This is fun.
I like these.
Says, see the front row girls, they love you.
Hey, there we go.
right, that's not a fucking question. It's not a question, it's a fact. Thank you. Thank you. We love you guys too.
Oh, it's funny.
Any B-side songs you wouldn't want the world to hear ever?
Oh, yeah. Do you know what we recently found? I recently had Garrett, the bass player for the Maine, found a hard drive from when Andy was 14 and freestyling as one of our buddies from high school recorded him for the first time. And it is the most gnarly, offensive freestyle I have ever heard Andy sing. And it's just him name dropping a bunch of girls that we went to high school with. And it's something that absolutely could never be released to the public. And dude, I brought it to the studio a couple months ago to show them, and we were just dying laughing because we know.
Isn't she a teacher now?
Yeah. Yo, she's got like 3 kids now. That line's crazy.
You can't say that.
And it's just him like.
I mean, obviously
so
he was very influenced by Eminem. I think that's no secret. And so when you have a insane fucking little 13-year-old that wants to rap and he wants to be Eminem, he's going to go a little bit harder than
I mean, are there any other demos that you guys can think are B-sides that like we would...
I mean, those are the main... I mean,
we have some bad songs, but nothing I would be like, oh, we can't...
We have some late night, like 2 or 3 in the morning songs that began, like we started writing, like when we were in the middle of writing sessions. Because when we write for an album, we'll lock in to a studio or a house for like a week or 2 straight, and we'll do like 14-hour days. And Andy would always do this thing where he'd like be like, no, let's keep going, and everyone's like, it's like 2 a.m. We're like, dude, we're so tired. He's like, let's just do one more.
We're hammered.
So the one mores that we did, where we'd listen the next morning and be like, yo, what is this?
He's like whiny singing.
Yeah, he's like,
dude, what?
Yeah.
Well, you know, one of those whiny, drunk singing ones actually made it onto an album.
Yeah.
And it's Bending on Washed. And he was like laying on the floor. We were all sitting by a campfire, and just Tanner was like playing the guitar. And I don't think I was even able to play bass, and that's why there's no bass on that song.
Yeah.
And we were just, it was, you know, like we're talking about 15, 16 hours into a day, and we probably started drinking at like 10 a.m. and we're at 2 a.m. the next day, and we're like, this one song's gonna make the album. And it actually did. But yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of songs that those are for us.
We already answered that one. Let's see. What got you into music? What got you into music?
Nelly. It's probably country grammar, for me.
Do you remember?
Like band-wise or just anything?
Why'd you start playing guitar?
My brother,
I actually don't remember.
My older brother played guitar in a shitty punk rock band called Control-Alt-Delete.
Dude, that's my favorite
That's
band.
a fucking sick-ass name.
That's a really good name.
That's why I started playing guitar.
Control-Alt-Delete.
Mm-hmm.
Was he good?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I got
That's fucking right, Chris.
I personally decided I was going to be a drummer and play drums in a band when I saw my first concert. I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers when I was 13. And it changed my life.
That?
And they ran on stage, and I was like, I'm doing that. And that's kind of crazy, too, because they're probably one of the most influential bands for us. And I'm sure you guys can maybe kind of see flavors of that in our music. But that's for me. I think that's what it was.
Brian?
Yeah, Nelly, country.
Lil Wayne?
No, I think when I was in elementary school, they made you pick like if you wanted to play an instrument or do something else, and I don't remember what the other thing was. So I just picked an instrument. I started on violin, and I was like, this thing fucking sucks. And I moved over to the cello, and cello is still to this day like my favorite sounding instrument. And then I saw a kid.
Wait, we got a cello player back there? Did you hear that?
Damn, cello.
Hey! All right, you're going to be playing cello during the entire DJ set, so
there you go.
We'll have you load in through the back, and
I hope you know every Katastro song ever.
All right,
I went there, and then I moved up to the upright bass, and I was like, this is dope, and I just kept doing that. And then I realized I was the weirdo with the giant instrument that I had to lug around every day. And it sucked, and everybody's like pointing at me.
It's kind of fitting, though, for you and your body type. And
yeah, dude, I was 5'2". I was a little kid. I was tiny, and I had this giant fucking thing.
You used to be as tall as me?
Yeah, those are the days I don't like to think about anymore. Yeah, I was when I was like 9 or 10. Yeah, I was as tall as you.
I'm actually you guys can't see, but I am sitting on a booster seat right now.
No, but I wanted to quit. My parents were like, if you stick with it, we'll buy you an electric bass. And I was like, cool. And so that's
there we go.
Story.
We got like 2 or 3 more minutes, so let's try and get
Let's do one more.
Rapid fire.
What was your... This is for Stravs. In parentheses, it says, what was your funniest kids club experience?
Dude. Did Corey put that question in there? The guy that's videoing this right now, I used to work at Kids Club with him. Okay, no, so Kids Club is an after-school program for kids. Me and Andy and Tanner all work there together.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's run solely by
when we were in high school.
13-year-olds.
So, dude, this is my favorite memory at Kids Club. There was one year where me and Andy, they decided it'd be a good idea to just put me and Andy, we were 18. It was like right when the band started. They put us in a room with like 28-year-olds. Not 28-year-olds, 28-year-olds. And Andy was on a behavior plan because he wasn't doing his job.
And he wasn't one of the 8-year-olds.
And he wasn't one of the 8-year-olds. But he had this thing that he'd do with the kids. And every time he'd get in trouble by our boss, he'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, Trisha, because the kids love me. Watch this. And he did this thing. He made it up with the kids, and it was the funniest shit ever. And they'd all sing it back to him. He would go... he would sing, no running, and then all the kids would go, 'cause running makes you fall. And so Andy would just go, no running, 'cause running makes you fall.
There you go. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah, dude, it was incredible though. Anyways, that's my favorite memory because that was how gifted Andy was. He could just get the moment he saw a group of kids singing back, he's like, I could probably do this for a living.
Yeah, I could write bars.
So that's my favorite Kids Club memory.
All right, I think it's time to wrap it up and get this show going. Get some live bands up, and we'll be out there hanging out with all of you guys.
Make some noise if you are ready to see our boys, the Irie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Make some noise if you're ready to see Pariah Pete tonight. Make some noise if you're ready to see a Katastro DJ set. All right, love you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.